You don't need hers. You just need mine. He said, no, she already went and got it, and I don't want it to be a wasted trip. And then you'll hear about it. I said, wait, we're not married. She can't hold this against me.
Not at all.
So
you hold it against me more than anything. It's your show.
So then the guy in just a little Chevy Suburban shows up with his little firelights. And
he tried fixing it, but
he tried to fix it, but because Claire smashed it with a sledgehammer, otherwise known as her fist, I guess, it was broken. So now
they can't fix it. They can't shut it off.
So now we're wandering around this
scary
scary place 2 days before or 3 days before Halloween, and we can't find the alarm panel anywhere.
Not me and you. You and the guy.
I wouldn't know what to do with it if I found it anyway.
I was hiding in a corner somewhere.
Then here it comes. Fire engine. And the first fireman comes in, and he looks at me, and
I took a picture.
And he's really annoyed. Oh, Art's
Art's
listening to Ross tell the story. The first guy comes in, he's really annoyed. He looks at me and goes, you can't have them there. I'm like, what the heck's he talking about?
Yeah, fire code.
Yeah, you're violating the fire code by doing that. I'm like, I ain't doing nothing.
I'm just standing here.
Look, just fix the alarm. Let me go. I got a radio show. By the end, though, he was up here asking us all kinds of questions. Oscar. So I want to give a shout out to the Hightstown Fire Department and Police Department
and Sparky
and our new producer Sparky, who either has a penchant for firemen.
Well, yeah, right. My dad always chased fire trucks, and he was a pyromaniac.
There you go.
Just needed the fire lights and stuff. So actually, they didn't even have duct tape. I had to go to my car and get duct tape.
You're really not complaining, are you?
No.
Well, that's because you smashed it with such force. That's how they fixed it. Yes, the fire alarm is now held together with duct tape.
Till tomorrow morning.
Every day we walk by that, we'll see.
No, we won't. Because they're gonna.
But so basically, Art, she accidentally trips the alarm. The next thing you know,
25.
They find 25 different fire violations against the code. The church is going down, big guy. We're going to need a new home soon.
Do not. Oscar said everything was fine. God blessed me and everything. Yes, you did.
Yeah, that's today.
wait till they get the bill for the call.
Well, he said he's like part
Daddy,
of
you got the rock on radio. Can you do this? All right. So yes, that was before, and
you got back in time. We got on the air. Just in time.
We did. I had a 6 o'clock rock on radio.
I was in trouble if we did.
Rock in the intake sessions.
Ex-producer.
So yeah, we did well there. So, but tonight, Rock on Radio is here. If you want to reach out to us, you can do so at 609-241-7103. Claire will field all calls about her fire prevention habits. Or you can follow along on Facebook. Danny Coleman's Rock on Radio 2, the number 2. Or you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram, Rock on Radio, all one word, all caps. And Art, YouTube link is up. Where?
It is. If you go to coaradio.com, on the right-hand side, you will see the YouTube link. There. And when you click on it, you will see the live broadcast right there.
Correct. The one that's right behind your head?
The one's right behind my head.
Beautiful.
Hi, Mom.
That's perfect. That's right. Because you are in for a mind-altering, unique experience.
Of course, I forgot to actually put the real audio into it. So when I first started it, it was just going through the microphone. It sounds like crap when you do that.
Great.
It's all fixed now, though.
We'll fix it. There you go.
Well, they're tuning in now.
Because our guests tonight are from the Princeton area, should we say?
Princeton,
Lawrence area?
Lawrenceville, some Princeton.
Okay.
Princeton, Lawrenceville, and a couple Pennsylvaniaites.
Ooh.
The Delaware.
They've crossed the big river.
I'm originally a Pennsylvaniite.
All right. Ooh. An ite. Is that like a stalactite?
I thought it was a Pennsylvanian.
It is, but I was just being funny.
Oh.
I'm not that funny. Well, I guess I'm
All right.
From left to right.
We have
Rob Freeman.
Eunice Franklin.
Chris Clark. David Ross. Steve Wolfer.
There you go.
All right.
For those of you who are following along at home, we'll give you the other 3 in the back's names again shortly. But together, they are the Beagles. That's right. They are not the Bagels. They are not the Beatles. They are the Beagles.
Or the Bangles.
Or the Bangles.
We
Ooh.
sometimes have a
Bengals,
spin-off
Beagles?
act that plays at synagogues that has actually been called the Bagels.
The Bagels. And locks.
Wow. With their long locks.
Long locks.
Long
yes,
locks, yes. And flowing locks on the bagel.
Schmears. Bagels and schmears.
To tell the truth.
It's actually a business. Bagels and schmears.
Really?
Really? Look it up. Google it.
No.
Mhm.
No, I can't do that. All right. Now, we're going to, right off the bat, you are here because you made the mistake of listening to my show once and asked to come on. And you also have a brand new disc out called Bed of Roses.
Yes, we do.
Come a little close. Meet the mic. Meet Mike. I don't want to have a partner.
Hi, Mike. How
There
you
you
doing?
go. Thank you. So, Rob, are you the de facto? Well, you blamed Steve earlier.
Well,
Before we went
he's the
away.
one that talked me into doing a project. But yeah, I'm basically the leader. But I can, as I said to you, I can only lead people where they want to be led.
This is true.
So I'm glad that they want to follow me where they want to be led or something.
That's how the sick and the weak get picked off, Rob. Because they don't follow the leader, or they branch off and become multimillionaires.
That's true.
You know, it's
Take a pick.
It's feast or famine. All right, so, all right. Well, before we get into the Beagles, recently I was allowed to have a lot of fun and jam with Rob and actually everybody in this room at one point at a Motown thing put together by was it the Arts Council or the
combination of the Beagles, the Einstein Alley Musicians Collaborative, which I'm also a leader of, and the Princeton Public Library and the McCarter Theater.
Okay.
And I've actually done quite a few of these tributes to 20th century musicians. This is the fourth one. We did a Springsteen tribute, a Janis Joplin tribute, a $1 Million Quartet tribute, now this Motown tribute, all working with various Princeton cultural institutions to put these events on.
And we gigged on the plaza in front of the library.
Yeah.
There was how many musicians involved? Was like the last count was like 116 or something.
Well, 25 if we count you.
25
If they count you.
I
You're a
just played
musician or not.
I just played the tambourine.
That's counting singers as musicians too, but I'm generous.
Whoa.
Whoa. Ooh, he might not have many singers at his disposal with that kind of comment.
I count them, I said.
Oh, but it sounded like you were counting them in
Ungenerously.
spite of the.
Eunice, you have my
Yes.
permission to smack it.
Yes, me too.
We have a very free-flowing show here. You have to move your mic too so we can hear you. There you go.
Eunice is both the newest member of the Beagles and the person I've known the longest in the Beagles, actually, because we went to college together.
That's right. We've known each other for 30 years. Oh my God.
We're not that old. We're not that old. It was 10 years ago we were in college, remember?
30 years.
We just actually, funny you do that
We
because this
just sang
afternoon we played at a tribute to a War of the Worlds concert, the 80th anniversary of War of the Worlds. And
Right.
there's a lot of events because I was right in this area.
Yeah.
The aliens supposedly
Where did this
landed
take place?
at the Princeton Library,
Yeah.
actually.
Okay.
That room we were using as the backstage room. at
Yeah,
the
Grover's
Motown
Mill's
thing.
only over there.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so we actually, one of the two songs we played there, which Eunice sang lead on there, was Science Fiction Double Feature.
Oh,
That was fun.
And
Nice.
actually,
man.
Chris, our bass player Chris, just played as a fill-in bass player at the Bucks County Playhouse at their production of Rocky Horror Picture Show last week.
Nice.
So very apropos.
Thank you.
Now, Grover's Mill, when I was young and had hair, I used to work at Dow Jones up in South Brunswick.
Oh,
And in the time I was there, which was roughly a month shy of 8 years,
Mhm.
okay, they put 3 new overpasses in on Route 1. They put about 6 additional lights. I was rear-ended 4 times driving to and from work, so I decided to start taking the back roads, Clarksville and through that area.
you'd rather risk the deer.
I'd rather risk the deer. Correct. Well, there was nobody
Schultz
there.
Corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And I used to drive past the Grover's Mill Lumber Company every day. And because there's a nasty intersection right there, a T intersection. That at first was never a problem because there was hardly any traffic. And then it became a big traffic nightmare. So much so, they put a light there now, actually, 30 years after the fact. So while you were still in college, I was out lighting the deer.
You're here to make us feel young.
But that's exactly right. So
or make him feel old.
that's impossible already. So
it beats the alternative. Getting old.
true. But right next to the Grover's Mill Lumber Company, literally on the same plot of land, was an old farmhouse. And in front of that farmhouse was this water tower, huge water tower.
Mm-hmm.
That's the water tower that the farmer shot at during the broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And for years, you could still see,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the markings. And then I went by there not too long ago, maybe
no longer
several
there.
months back, and the tower was down. It was gone. It's like,
Oh,
oh man, pulled at my heartstrings.
because that was
That's
80 years, right?
It's like a
Is that
piece
what
of
they said?
history.
80th
Yeah.
anniversary.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
piece of history.
Yeah, that was cool.
So,
I don't remember it though.
so that's kind of cool that you did that.
Yeah, it was a fun thing to do.
Of course, there's the Grover's Mill Coffee Company, which is on Princeton Heights Town Road. So that's also a neat place. It's all decorated in War of the Worlds theme.
Nice.
So kind of
Very
apropos, because that's how many years ago was that? Now the anniversary's coming up.
80.
80. Yes.
You should
That was
know.
your
That's coming from Art. I
heard
did
him.
not say
He's older
that.
than dirt.
He was older than dirt.
Art was a waiter at the Last Supper, and he's telling me that I. But so that's
brought
neat
it
that
up.
you did that.
Yeah, it was a fun show.
Yeah. I was the cook. So yeah, well, that's neat that you did that. So we did that thing at the library. But when did you do this? When did you do the disc?
Well, about a year ago, I started the process of it. I met Lon, who produced most of the disc, Lon Van Eaton,
Okay, who
last
was
October.
signed to Apple Records himself, along with the Beatles back in the day.
Yes, he was. And he did a bunch of stuff with George and Ringo in their solo careers, too.
Mhm.
So we met last October and started the process then. We started a bunch of pre-production stuff then. We recorded the basic tracks in December, and then the vocals were mostly done in December into January, and then a bunch of time mixing after that. And then there were a few more tracks we decided to put on the disc after that, which we did with another guy, Peter Gregory, engineered, and I self-produced those. And we did those tracks in April. And then we did one more, actually, a second version of one of the tracks on the CD, which Eunice got to join us because she joined the band by then. She got to sing on that song, which we actually did in July. So it was the whole process went from October to July, and it came out in August.
Okay, so now like you've got 5 pieces here on the cover. For those of you at home who are watching, you can see that
Ah, we have a phone call.
already.
Nice.
See? There you go. Hello, welcome to Rock on Radio. Who's this?
Oh, this is Peter Gregory. Hi, how are you?
Ah,
Hey.
he heard his name. He called in.
That's
Hello.
right.
Hello,
Hi, Peter.
Peter. How are you?
People are saying nasty things about me.
I don't recall that.
Well,
I was saying how delightful it was to work with you. We're not going to get to play any of the tracks recorded with you on the CD today because we're actually going to do 2 of those songs live today. So, but they were such special tracks that we decided to do them live.
and there you have it. So, what's up, Peter? What do you have to say to this fine group that's assembled here this evening?
Oh, I'm just happy they're getting to talk to you and getting out there and getting people to hear this music. And, just I'm so supportive of people that are doing what you're doing. And then, I had such a great experience working with Rob and his whole group that Rob told me about that this was going to be happening. So I just wanted to say hi and, go keep doing what you're doing and, and keep giving people like Rob a chance. This is such a cool thing, man.
Peter is a phenomenal drummer. His primary thing is he's a great drummer and a drum instructor, and he built his studio primarily to do drum lessons with all sorts of video facilities that his drum students can use there, and then also branched into recording. And I think we were one of the first bands you worked with. Is that right, Peter? And in terms
That
of
is
recording
correct.
studio?
And actually, yeah, the first very full entire band that I recorded, and I've since then I've actually got called through your bass player that's on the recording, Rob. He referred me to yet another. He referred me to yet another thing. So that was fun. Two student rock bands from Proline Music just down the road from here. So a shout out to Proline Music and to Chris Clark, and just recently I'm doing and mixing. I just recorded a guy, a singer songwriter, very talented guy, Drew Brightbill, and he did a video here that we're now mixing the audio and trying to pick the camera angles and do all the video editing. So it's kind of turned into a full service operation. It started off basically as just a place for me to do some really high-tech drum lessons, but it's kind of morphed into this whole other thing. And I have Chris and Rob to thank for that.
Yeah, Chris introduced me to Peter too. I actually met him at one of Chris's gigs. Yeah, was that it? Yeah. And Peter was such a great guy to work with. So thoughtful, so careful in everything he does.
Peter, who did you take? Did you take drum lessons?
I did. So I'm from Denver, Colorado, but I studied at the Berklee College of Music in Boston. After leaving Boston, I moved to New York City. I was there for 21 years. I did a lot of different gigs. I played with Bo Diddley, the Drifters, the Marvelettes, the Coasters, the Ink Spots, all sorts of people. And
the fabulous Ink Spots. The fabulous.
Yeah, that's going back. That's going back a few years.
Oh yeah.
So I had a real fun time in New York. I was on this a part-time adjunct professor at the Juilliard School of Music for a program. They have a really cool program for inner city children called the Music Advancement Program. So I was a part of that for 9 years, which was really special.
Very cool.
So,
and then you get to work with the Beagles.
That's right. So it all prepared me for that.
See, that's exactly right. That's what comes full circle. All right, Peter. Well, thank you for calling in, man.
Oh, my pleasure. Have a great night, you guys. Have
all
fun.
right. Thank you for the kind words and rock on, my friend.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks for calling,
man.
Peter. Nice to hear from you.
Same, Rob. Bye-bye.
Rock on. That's right. If you're just tuning in, this is Rock On Radio. I am Danny Coleman, and our guests this evening are the Beagles. And why don't we do some music? You want to go off the disc? You want to go...
Let's play Think Tank. Let's do a live tune.
Oh, you're going to go live right off the bat.
Yeah,
I told you. Told you you'd want to, once you lugged all that stuff up here, you'd have to put it to use.
All right.
What's
this is a song I wrote long ago. Actually, it doesn't sound like I wrote this on a classical guitar on a grassy hillside overlooking the Mediterranean when I was in college.
That was in 1962.
It was in 1984. 1984.
Ooh,
long time ago. And Eunice probably heard me play this song at one of our college dorm coffee
I don't
houses.
think, you know what? I want to challenge this whole college thing. 'Cause I think she was probably in elementary school at that time.
Well, she was a freshman when I was a senior.
And
see. And, Freckles.
Freckles and Sparky. What a lineup we got tonight. All right, go ahead.
Ready to go? 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got some money in the bank, and my brain's in a think tank, going like a lot full of crank. I'd give all but one big time just to spend a little time with you in these loving arms of mine. Whoa, I need a little love. As I theorize, it was said to me from the heavens, send it from the heavens above. Well, I could sit and brood, but when I hit up my mood, I know I've been one fool too. I tell my pride so high, just trying to pat my thigh. I need a little moment to see you, I do. I got a heart full of soul. It's just these thought processes of mine are driving me. Driving me a As I theorize, it was sent to me from the heaven, sent it from the heavens above. I got some money in the bank and my brain's in a think tank, going like a lot full of crank. I'd give all but one thing time just to spend a little time with you in these loving arms of mine. Whoa, oh, oh, I need a little love. As I theorize, it was sent to me from the heaven, sent it from the heavens above. That I need a little love. A little, well I need. That I need a little love. A little, well I need. That I need a little love. A little, well I need. That I need a little love.
The Beagles right here on Rock On Radio, and their song called
Think Tank.
Think Tank.
And that song has actually been played on WTSR 91.3 Trenton, so that was cool. We got that one on the radio.
Did you get it on PRB?
No, but not yet. We hope to.
You figured that'd be the first place.
Well, we'll take what we can get. We'd love to be on PRB too. And we
TSR.
love to be on
From
COA
TSR,
Radio
why
with
not?
you tonight.
That's right. I'll tell you what, if anybody wants to give us a call tonight, you can win a free copy of the Beagles CD, Bed of Roses, just by dialing 609-241-7103. We'll give you that. We've got some Rock On Radio merch to throw in there, pens, bumper stickers, the infamous Rock On Radio lube. We've got all kinds of things we're ready to throw in. Right, Art?
Sure.
Including the towel. What?
Throw the towel.
And we have Jack Furlong CDs. We'll throw
Oh,
Jack
yes.
Furlong
a
CD in there.
Jack Furlong CD
Get a
because
matching set.
we literally have a case of them over there. We'll throw that in.
Posters.
Oh, there you go.
Ooh,
See,
nice.
somebody wants one of your discs. Rob,
It might be someone that has one.
hello, welcome to Rock On Radio. Who's this?
Hi, this is Vanessa.
Oh, she's with you.
This is Vanessa. Hi. Vanessa Rose, you see her picture on our CD, and she sings on all of our CD, and we're so glad you can call in to talk to us in the studio.
Yeah, I'm happy to be able to call in. Sounds good so far.
Oh,
Tuned
good.
in a little while ago. Hi, David. Hi, Steve. Hi, Chris. Hi, Eunice. Hi, Danny.
Hello. So,
And obviously, I'm talking to Rob.
sort
Hi,
of.
Vanessa.
All right, now Vanessa,
Uh-huh.
you were an integral part of this disc, just as well
Yeah.
as the others in the room.
Yeah.
I need to know several things from you.
Okay.
Okay. Number one,
Mm.
what was it like to do this project?
Mm.
And number two, what does Rob drink while he's recording?
Well, I mean, it was a lot of fun working on a studio album. I've done recordings before, but this was a first for me, and it was a great experience. There are so many great musicians that I got to work with, and all original songs, and it's kind of cool getting to be the original artist. I've covered a lot of different songs, but yeah, no, it was really a cool experience. I had a very good time.
Okay.
And yeah, and like I said, got to work with many great people and met a lot of great people, and yeah. I'm
Not
sorry.
only
well,
did
the
Vanessa
second-
get, not only did Vanessa get to work on original songs, Vanessa got to help to write one of the original songs.
And which one was that?
"Live for You" was the track. In fact, it was kind of funny because Rob mentioned that a lot of the songs he wrote a while ago, and excuse me, and there was this one song, "Live for You," that he had told me. He gave me a recording of him singing it when he was a teenager, and he said, listen to this. I think I'd like you to sing this for the album. So I said, okay. So he did mention that the words, he wanted to tweak them a little bit because he wrote them so long ago, and I mean they kind of also they applied to him, and not that every song that you sing has to apply to you, but I mean, we just kind of, we wanted to just tweak the words a little bit, and maybe I don't want to say modernize it, but yeah, kind of, made it more from, a female sing. Well, then again, it doesn't really matter. Anybody could have, it doesn't matter what you are. But yeah, I just made them kind of lyrics that maybe were better for me to sing. And, Rob liked them. He still has the words that he wrote for the chorus. We're all, his original lyrics. But yeah, I tweaked the verses a little bit, and it was a fun little collaboration, and we even added a spoken part. That was kind of cool, like a rap at the end.
Well, I was, the tambourine player at that Motown.
Yes, and it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to work with you, Danny.
And likewise. Thank you. However,
she enjoyed your tambourine.
See, that's good. You, young lady, have a very, very powerful, gutsy, bluesy voice.
Thank you.
Which I enjoyed thoroughly.
Thank you, Danny.
So when you wrote, you wrote "Live for You," and you modified it. Rob, I was looking at Rob.
I'll tell you the secret of what led her to modify it. I was trying to get her to write new words for this song for a long time, and she wasn't coming up with anything. Then I came up with new words that I thought would make it better for her to sing, and she was so horrified by the words that I had come up with to make it better for her to sing that she, within like an hour, had a whole new set of lyrics to it. And I was like, well, that's amazing. We're using that.
Motivation.
Now, I will say that if you wrote this when you were 13.
Not 13. I was a teenager, she said.
Oh, I thought she said.
Teenager.
I thought she said 13. All right. Well, either way, you must be still in elementary school. So, okay. Now, who else have you recorded with?
Oh, well, I've recorded demos. I have a SoundCloud. I do all different kinds of, I do all different kinds of genres. And I have some, big band standards up on my SoundCloud. And, I really got to put more up there. But I recorded some of the tracks on there, actually most of them, were recorded by a friend who's a DJ. And, he's got kind of like a little recording studio in his basement. So most of the tracks on there were recorded by him. But, I've recorded, I've done different live recordings with different groups. But this was the first time that I really had the full-on studio experience. So,
okay.
Yeah, and we got to do 2 different studios, which is cool. Yeah.
Now, what's your SoundCloud? How do we find your recording?
Oh, sure. If you go on, www.soundcloud.com/Vanessa Vintage. It's all, one word, no spaces or anything like that. You'll find my tracks. I also have a voiceover demo on there too. But I really have to add more to there though. I haven't really updated it in a little while, but hey, you're welcome to check it out.
Okay. Now, Vanessa's picture, of course, is on the cover of your disc, where there's the Beagles are a 5-piece band, according to this.
Or 25, like in
or
the Motown
25
show.
at the Motown show. When you go out, Rob, and you go out and perform, how many pieces do you take on the road?
I mean, it varies. 5 is the most typical number that we play with. And, the lineup varies somewhat from show to show because everybody here has lots of other things that they're involved with. So there's more than one bassist, more than one singer, more than one drummer that knows the material. And that way, when I get a gig, I can take it and find the people that know the material that, find among the people that know the material well, choose the people that are able to make any given gig. And also what lineup works best. It can be a small group, a bigger group, depends on the
I
thing.
just did an interview with a guy the other day who said to me that when he moved down from, I can't remember where he was living originally, but Albany, and he moved down to New York City. He said, when I got there, I had a decent band. He said, but then, or when I left Albany, he said, I was there, I had a band, a real tight band. Then I come down to New York City, and it's New York City. He said that, everybody's in 5 different bands. So he said, I've got a depth chart now. So many guitarists, so many bassists, so many drummers. Yeah. And they go on that way. So I guess you're almost forced. At the Motown show,
You saw everyone who's ever been in the Beagles.
we had Vanessa, we had Eunice, we had Olive, We had women I didn't even know their names. They weren't at the rehearsal I was at. So yeah, I mean, you had two drummers. Actually, you had
Two drummers and two percussionists.
Four drummers. Yeah. So yeah, I guess you're pretty forced.
Well, the great thing is that I mentioned I'm one of the leaders of this Einstein Alley Musicians Collaborative, and I've met an awful lot of musicians through that. And the fact that many of us play in different groups, it's a very cross-pollinating sort of group. David's really the only one here that I met through the Einstein Alley group. I've brought as many people into it probably as I've met through it too. But I know Vanessa wanted to talk about some of her favorite songs on the disc. You want to give her a...
She did. She said...
Oh, well, sure. Okay. Well, and about the Einstein Alley Collaborative. I mean, what a great group, and that Motown show was just such a blast. Oh my gosh. Just wanted to, throw that in since you mentioned it. But okay, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great songs on the disc. I particularly like Hair Hang Down. I mean, I think that it's just got a real great sound to it, and I think it would appeal to all different kinds of people that like country, people that like rock, there's just all different circles. I think would like it. I think it's got a great sound. It's almost got a crossover kind of sound to it, I think. And actually, Rob wrote that song a long time ago too, but then he ended up adding the chorus because he had pretty much the verses as the chorus originally. But then after we were rehearsing it, he ended up adding a real catchy chorus, which I think really makes the song, and I just think it's a great song.
So which ones do you sing on, Vanessa? Which two?
Oh, many of them.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of them I sing on, or I sing backup on if Rob is on lead. And then it was cool because then Eunice got to sing lead on a song which already we recorded, but she re-recorded it and it sounded great. And I sung a verse in that version too, but it was cool because I was more in the background and she really got to shine in that, and it sounds great too. So.
Oil Painting is that song.
Hey, okay.
And it's Oil Painting reprised.
That's the last of 19 tracks. This is a 19
Yeah, there's a lot of
CD.
tracks on this album. Yeah.
We figured out how much you could put on a CD, and we put that much on the CD because I have over 100 songs I've written. So putting out a CD, I didn't see any reason I needed to save a lot for my next. I'm saving 81 for my next already.
Oh my God.
Quadruple album set.
Or
you could just line them all together, right? I feel like Julie, the Time Life operator. Why? Thank you for calling. Would you like the 5 CDs?
Writing the chorus to Oil Painting, actually, I mean, not to Oil Painting, to Hair Hang Down. I was just telling Vanessa this the other day that it was really after I heard her sing the song, which I hadn't done that song for ages. I hadn't had a woman who could really sing well enough to belt that song out, but she sang it so powerfully. That's what really made me inspired to take it a new direction. It was the original point was much more of the point of view of a woman as a object, almost a Rapunzel. Rapunzel is definitely the theme. My girl's favorite song. That have little girls. They're 11. They're not that little anymore. They're listening. You're big girls. But anyway, it was that Rapunzel in a tower, sort of like with the woman more as the object of the male gaze sort of theme. And with such a powerful voice singing it, I wanted to have that voice really speak out on its own. And then the song went from being called "Let Your Hair Hang Down" to "Hair Hang Down." The chorus is "I don't want to let my hair hang down." So it's really the woman given that alternate point of view and speaking out. And so I loved having that sort of responsiveness. It almost reminded me a little bit about "Bat Out of Hell," about the Paradise of the Dashboard Light, where you have that sort of dialogue between the male and female.
Is that one of the ones you sent me?
That is one of the ones I sent you. Yeah.
You want to cue that up, Art? Hair Hang Down?
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Very cool. Well, we're going to play that as soon as Art hooks that up. All right. So we got a couple of Vanessa's takes on this. Before we let you go, Vanessa, do you have something you want to say to your bandmates here?
Oh, of course. Well, all of you, you're all such great people, great musicians, and I really love working with every single one of you. And, obviously there'll be more projects with the Einstein Alley Music Collaborative to come. So that'll be a lot of fun. And, you guys, I'm so proud of you, all on the radio. You made it. And you're all awesome.
I got some news to tell you, Vanessa. You'll be psyched about this, about the $1 Million Quartet show we're doing in January 6th. We're doing a tribute to the $1 Million Quartet again with Vanessa. I just got a message from Evelyn half an hour ago that she wants to sign on to that and do some backing vocals with us.
Oh, excellent. I love Evelyn. Oh my gosh, that's great. Aw. Yeah, Evelyn, she's such a sweetheart. She's got a beautiful voice. She was also in our Motown show. Well, Danny, you know that. You were there.
I was there. Yes, I was. All the singers were very good.
Absolutely.
One of the songs that most features Vanessa on the disc, which we really did to suit her style because she has that jazzy big band approach you mentioned, is Singing in the Shower. I wanted to mention that too. That's one we actually did twice. Once the duo version with Lon, and Vanessa liked it so much she wanted to sing it just herself. And she did a version with Peter too with that.
Peter was a joy to work with. He really was. What a nice guy. And I know he called in before too. So yeah, I give him a shout out. Hi, Peter.
Beautiful. All right, now Vanessa, I want you to do me a favor, and then we're going to let you go. I want you to say that you're listening to Rock On Radio, and this is Hair Hang Down by the Beagles.
All right. You're listening to Rock On Radio, and this is Hair Hang Down by the Beagles.
Oh, beautiful. Hey!
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Vanessa. Have a
Rock
good night.
on, Vanessa.
Oh, so long, guys. Great talking to you.
You too.
Okay, bye.
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 When I look down from a castle where I'm locked inside a room, and the walls are made of glass, and they're all wearing masks, and they're asking me to stick my head through. And I got a wicked lover, and he got a witch's broom, and it won't start to bend when he turns it on end, but still he's asking me to. I don't wanna live my life down. Mama, I don't wanna live my life down. Then I see you on the stairs, how they wonder what you did. But I don't wanna let my hair hang down. First he takes me with his finger, then he hastens from the room. 'Cause he never knows for sure if I want any more, or how I'm gonna spin around you. I don't wanna let my hair down. Mama, I don't wanna let my hair down. I may watch you in the light, I may dream of you every night, but I don't wanna let my hair hang down. It could turn my whole world upside down. Let it all hang down. If I were to let my hair hang down. Well, you walked up to my castle, and you marched up to my room. Then you slipped in through the keyhole, feeling you were on a roll. Look at that expression on you. I don't wanna let my hair hang down. Mama, I don't wanna let my hair hang down. If you step back from my room, I may sing a different tune, but I don't wanna let my hair down. I don't wanna let my I may put you in the light. I may dream of you but I don't wanna let my head down. I don't wanna let my head down.
The Beagles here on Rock On Radio. Again, I'm your host, Danny Coleman. Engineer Art is here. Claire is here. The producer, otherwise known as Forever Sparky. She will be Sparky for the end of time. Our guests in studio tonight are the Beagles. You guys are like amoeba. You keep multiplying. You brought two more in. We have Olive.
Yes.
How are you, Olive?
I am. How are you?
I am too. I am also. And who did you bring with you?
Oh, I brought my wonderful husband, my better half, Michael Giles, with me.
Usually don't hear that out of women. Like, you're lucky. Well, the better half. See? Usually it's the other way around. Ah.
Newlyweds.
Newlyweds, yeah.
He behaved today. So.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to Terry. She's listening out in Cuba, Missouri. As always, hello, Terry. I hope you got your package I sent out last week. She won a prize pack last week.
She's a big
Just
winner.
like you can win this
Big
week.
winner.
609-241-7103. If you want a copy of the Beagles CD, a Jack Furlong CD. What else are we giving away? We have pens. We have bumper stickers. We have the Rock On Radio lube. We have all kinds of things to hand out tonight here on Rock On Radio. See?
Special.
Handing out the lube, eh?
Yes. Dial hand motion.
So we're not coughing the chocolate.
That's right.
Yeah, no
People
chocolate.
on YouTube must be looking at this thing going, what the heck's on that table? They're just like
It's
stuff
very
everywhere.
colorful.
Chocolate. Help yourself to some chocolate,
Yes.
Olive. Michael, we got chocolate. We have
Dark chili chocolate.
we have a
there's
thing of fruit
milk,
snacks
mint.
left. Oh yeah, come on. See, he's good. That's
Yeah,
what I like that.
no, yeah.
Dive right
Help
in.
yourself.
Go ahead.
Oh, there's
Go
with
for it.
He's not shy.
almonds. No good.
Yep. We have all kinds of things. Okay. The Beagles. Now I know that you're a big Beatles fan,
I am.
and you can hear that influence
Thank you.
in the music.
Definitely led to my working with Lon too. I knew Lon's name from reading Beatles Ringo Starr liner notes when I was, 10 years old or whatever. So he was the name that always meant something to me from that.
Okay, so how do we come up with the Beagles?
Well, I always say the Beagles came from three things. I mean, one, it's sort of halfway between the Beatles and the Eagles. So I always sort of liked that it was like familiar sounding, yet its own name. And
Could go
then
either way.
I've also been a big fan of Peanuts and Snoopy and all of that. So the Beagles Association, and I'm a
Okay.
big dog lover too. So all of those things led to it. And plus, it's just sort of a folksy name,
As in,
which I like.
you say big dog as in the species or as in the size?
Probably actually, I do. My favorite dogs are golden retrievers. I had three
Okay.
golden retrievers.
So you like a bigger
growing up.
dog?
I do like a bigger dog.
Good.
Though I like beagles too. I had a beagle at one point too.
Oh,
And the whole Snoopy connection can be great. We're doing a tribute to Woodstock next summer, and so, like the whole Snoopy connection is perfect if you're going to do a tribute to Woodstock, right?
true.
'Cause they were best of buddies,
Of course.
Mhm.
That's right.
2-man crew.
And it's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown was on last night.
Was it? I mean, did he ever find it? For years we've been looking for that thing.
We have a whole Halloween
Still
connection
haven't
too.
found it.
Chris here is born on Halloween.
No,
And,
happy birthday,
Happy
man!
birthday.
Nice.
When it gets really late on Halloween Eve, then it's Steve's birthday because Steve was born November 1st.
Nice.
Oh.
Happy birthday to you.
And that's my anniversary.
Whoa! See,
All Saints Day.
you're gonna get Rock On Radio pen and chocolate for your anniversary.
Yay!
So-
We did it right all those years ago.
We'll give you the
Yes.
prize pack. It's all come to this point, as Peter Gregory said earlier. How do we find the Beagles? Websites?
Well, we have a website, beaglesband.com is our main website. We also have a Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Rob Freeman The Beagles. That's ROBFREEMAN The Beagles.
There you go. All right. So now let's talk a little bit to each of the members of the Beagles. Now, you guys in the back, I need you to do me a favor though. When I get to you, please stand up and talking to Steve's microphone there, so that
Actually, they can pass that one around.
Yeah.
can they? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It
We got
should be
enough-
long enough.
All right. Eunice.
Yes.
So when Rob kidnapped you from college, you're a vocalist.
Yeah.
Right? Any other instruments, or were you just strictly
You
vocals?
know, I played the clarinet for 9 years as a kid, and I happily gave that up.
We'll now have to cover when
I'm
I'm
gonna tell
64
you-
and get you back
That's
on
right. That's right.
I'm gonna tell you a true story. When I was in high school, my sister, or just out of high school, my sister, who's 5 years younger than me, was in her freshman year of high school, and I was on the phone with a bandmate of mine going over some upcoming gigs, and I was upstairs and she was downstairs practicing her clarinet, and she had just really started to play the clarinet, and the sounds that were coming out of this thing, I really can't describe what it sounded like on air because I run a clean show, but I'm on the phone with him, and his exact words were, "What the heck is that?" So yeah, that could be a very difficult instrument. I can understand happily wanting to get
Yeah, you know, there's only so many years of sweating in a marching band uniform.
Yes.
You can-
that. Are you a local product?
No, I grew up in Brockton, Massachusetts.
Oh, no
It's
kidding.
home to Rocky Marciano. It's probably the only person, and Marvin Hagler. I went to college in Philadelphia. That's how I met Rob. And I sang in a couple of bands on campus and for a couple of years after graduating. And then I didn't do anything. And, you know, when Rob found me on the side of the road last spring, I was only singing to mortify my kids in the car.
I do that when I dance. My daughter pretty much
Understandably.
strangles me, and
Yes,
my
understandably.
producer
Yes.
chastises me.
Yeah, we don't allow that on YouTube.
When I dance, the fire company arrives.
Yeah, oh yeah. You blamed me, but it really was you.
The 5-alarm chili. I gave
Exactly.
Jody Weber.
Exactly.
So, okay, now influence. What did you listen to as a young Eunice?
As a young me. So probably nothing that Rob really liked. So, you know, the Smiths and the Clash and a lot of grunge in the 90s and new wave and everything that was on classic rock because I didn't have any money. So whatever was on the radio was what I sang and what I knew.
Mhm.
And so it's been fun to sing with Rob and these guys because it's all, you know, all stuff that I heard and enjoyed on the radio for years and years. And now I get to do this for fun. It's the best stress reliever there is, I think.
I agree. No, I've mentioned it many Wilbur.
What are you, Mr.
many
Ed?
times on this show.
Well, playing music may be a great stress reliever, but when you try and coordinate 25 people to learn 32 songs from Motown
that's-
Tribute, it adds a fair amount of stress.
Well, that's self-inflicted stress.
No one to blame but himself.
Another word for that. Another word for that.
Oh, when I was a kid in high school, I'd come home if I had a bad day or took one to relieve stress of my day. I would throw on side one of Physical Graffiti and put my headphones on, just because I was a leadhead from the time I was 12 years old. Olive, hello, Olive.
Howdy, honey.
Welcome to the party, baby.
I made it.
How are you?
As I said previously, I am. We all are.
And we shall be
And we shall be.
until we're not anymore.
Okay, Sarah, Sarah.
Then we're
Yes.
dust.
Yes, yes.
Eventually.
yes. But I'm very happy to be here. I'm
Well, we're
I'm
happy.
great.
We're happy to have you. You got a great voice. You killed it. You did People Get Ready, right?
Yeah, one
Yeah,
half of that.
half of that.
yes, yeah.
What was the other one you sang that day? That Motown tribute.
Okay, so where shall we start? I think.
No, you sang a whole bunch. I know that, but there was. I had to leave after the first hour because I had to get here. Unfortunately.
Oh, okay, that's where you disappeared to. I was
yeah.
looking around. Where's Dan?
Well, good. Somebody noticed.
I missed him.
He didn't notice. He didn't notice. Well, you know. Rob's like,
I'm a
no,
little busy.
we don't need a tambourine player.
So, well, we needed that tambourine on what did we do? Dancing in the Streets.
Yeah.
I was there for that.
That was
I was there
okay.
for
It's all right.
I missed the second half.
Okay, all right.
We needed
So,
it on War. I wasn't there.
Oh man.
That's okay.
Okay.
All right. So when did you start singing? And do you play any other instruments, or you're just a vocalist?
Well. So here we go. Actually, I did my first gig. I was 4 and
Nice.
took my first piano lesson at 3. So I've done this my entire life.
Okay. Do you still play?
Yeah, still play. Still
Fantastic.
play.
Good.
And I also majored in French horn, also clarinet. Couple of strange sounds. I'm familiar with those strange sounds. Clarinet, French horn. Yeah, that's, oh my God, it's coming back to me.
Sorry, didn't mean to take you there.
French horn and vocals.
Okay.
Yeah, those are my mainstays.
Excellent.
Mhm,
Good.
mhm.
What'd you listen to growing up? Because
Oh,
you were digging
my.
out. You were digging at Motown.
Well, yeah, there was a lot of that in my house. I'm happy to say that I'm the product of 2 musicians. My parents were both musically inclined. My father was actually a band leader in the British West Indies, pretty
Oh, wow.
big. Yeah.
Okay.
So he saw from the time I remember, it's kind of weird. I remember from the age of 9 months, crawling over to the piano. We always had instruments in our house. Crawling over to the piano, and I always would pull myself up and hit this one key over and over again because I was just fascinated with it. And it was middle C. To this day, I hear middle C just ringing in my head. But yeah, he was the one that really got me started.
Said
Yeah, that's the one. You're a little sharp, but it's all right.
Better than flat.
It was perfect. Perfect. So he was the one that really understood who I was before I even knew who I was, and set me up with piano lessons. He gave me piano lessons until I took formal lessons at the age of 3.
3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Did my first gig at 4. I made $5. Oh my God. And I still have that bill.
Pretty much still the scale today.
Yes.
$5 is worth
Not-
more than.
Not much has changed. Right. Right.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you want to do that song you were gonna? I was gonna sing that song, "Singing in the Shower," that we recorded twice with Vanessa and me, and one Vanessa just one. Maybe we do one with all of you. Want to sing that? With us
Sure.
all?
I'm up for it.
All right, we'll get there. Let me work my way around
Oh,
the
okay.
room real quick here.
I just thought we were introducing her, but okay.
Well,
I'll set up in the
why? She's
meantime.
not leaving me, is she?
No, I just
No, okay.
thought I'd segue.
Do you know
but-
something that I don't?
I'm staying right here,
She's getting
baby.
her props.
That's
Right. Now, was Michael part of this band too at some point?
He was part of our Motown tribute. And
He
he's
was.
welcome to be part of it anytime.
Okay.
Anytime he wants to be part of us again, he's welcome to do so.
What did you do in the Motown? Were you a horn player? Yeah. Okay. All right. I thought so.
And
All
he
right.
sang too.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I was kind of screened off from everybody there.
He put in the blue vocals, the Melvin
Yeah.
Franklin vocals on the Temptations tune, the bass vocals he handled on
Oh,
that.
okay. Now you had two drummers, you had 2 percussion guys, and David. Right? We got about a 3.5 foot space for both. They never care. They always set the drummers in the back, but then they give us like exactly 4 square feet to set up a 22-piece drum kit. So, all right. So you're a trombone guy that day. Trombone. Why don't I- Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Oh,
was
there he is.
horn
Okay.
guy. Yeah.
Ah, the horn guy. All right. So did you get hooked into this because Rob asked you, or because Olive said you're driving?
A combination of both. Combination of both.
He
but I
needed a
would say-
roadie and I needed
Yeah,
a ride.
You need a roadie, and Rob needed a horn player.
Perfect
So
marriage.
you merge the
So
two
just
together,
all
and
fit
that's-
together, right?
Yeah, they all fit together. Yes.
How long you been playing a horn?
Oh wow. Started playing trombone in middle school, about middle school,
okay.
and actually wound up playing the tuba by volunteering. That's my primary instrument. I'm really not a trombone player,
though I started on trombone, I actually kind of migrated down the line, and wound up playing tuba. And tuba is really my primary instrument, but I can double on trombone and baritone horn as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever met anybody that said, I want to play the tuba.
Tuba, yeah.
There's always
Especially
one.
It kind of
Especially in
picked
a
me.
marching band.
Yeah.
The thing weighed 7,000 pounds. Yes,
Right.
Eunice, I was in the marching band as well.
Oh, really? What instrument?
Drums, snare.
Drums? Oh,
I
okay.
played, I played in the snare line.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Wow.
All right. So what'd you grow up listening to?
Well, a variety of different music. I mean, anything from I listened to a lot of Earth, Wind, and Fire because gotta love the horns, the Sea Wind horn section and stuff. Tower of Power was another big group that I enjoyed listening to as well, and can't say. I mean, a little bit of the Beatles here and there, and there would be Beatles that was interpretation by different musicians. So you would get maybe, for example, the Canadian Brass has a CD out of Beatles tunes, and they would do something like the Yellow Submarine or Yesterday, and it would be a brass quintet version of the Beatles tune. So I grew up listening to a lot of that, being a horn player. So I kind of leaned towards that side. Yes.
Earth, Wind, and Fire did Beatles too, of course.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Got to get you into my life.
Yeah.
One
How
of
could I
the
forget?
one of the most pleasant interviews I've ever done over my career as a music journalist was with Verdine White of Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh, wow.
He called me from Chicago. They were dating
Cool.
the morning of a show, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, I got about a half hour with him. But
Wow.
in a half hour, I learned a lot of things.
Mm.
Great guy. Okay.
Did do anything a cappella? Did he get that,
No,
falsetto going?
It was over the phone. So
okay.
Because they were coming to, I don't know if it was the arena in Trenton or the or the one in Camden. I forget.
They did do one in
Camden.
Trenton with
who were
with
they
Chicago at the time. They merged groups and stuff. So yeah, wow.
You're not from Trenton.
Yeah.
No, originally from New. Oh yeah. Right, yeah. I said with the T. Yeah.
That's how it is in the dictionary.
TRETUN. Trenton. No ends.
No ends.
All right. So, hey, can you hand the mic? We're just
Sure.
going to go right around the room here real quick. All right, Chris.
My man.
Go ahead.
Okay, so you're gonna ask what I listened to when I was young.
No, I was actually going to ask what your favorite beer was.
Right now,
You
I'm
wanna go there?
right now I'm an IPA guy. I have lots of good shout out to all the beer connoisseurs out there, which I'm not. I drink IPAs, whatever they have at this point.
Okay.
That's my thing.
I drink IPAs, whatever Chris brings.
There you go.
First IPA I ever had, Eunice, was in Boston, Massachusetts. I had Harpoon on tap at the Hard Rock, actually. Wound up seeing a Dropkick Murphys by accident.
Nice.
By accident. I didn't know they were playing at a Dennis Leary benefit that started at like 7 at night. And we were there at like 4 in the afternoon. I said, guess what? We're not going anywhere. So I stayed there for the whole thing. All right. So, okay. So what did you listen to?
So
I'll capitulate to your demand.
there you go.
What is it that you?
So I in high school, we'll talk about high school. It's more like, so it's Jay Giles Band, Freeze Frame album was out. Joan Jett, I Love Rock and Roll was out. The Police, Ghost in the Machine, Synchronicity. So the Talking Heads. So this is what I'm early 80s baby. So that's when I really started to get, I hadn't started playing bass yet. I was air drumming along to Rush Records, actually. I was air drumming along to Neil Peart in high school. And so it was only later on when my friend said, well, if you had to pick between bass and drums, you really had more of the demeanor of a bass player. So I said, that makes sense to me. And so I took up bass. My dad happened to have a bass. So I didn't really get serious until college. And so I ended up getting 2 degrees in classical double bass. I ended up getting 2 double bass performance degrees. So kind of no plan B.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's good because when you have a plan B, then plan A doesn't get the full attention.
No.
Excellent. Very good. See, now there's like a serendipity here with that. First, he said, what's the first band you said you were in that conversation?
Jay Giles with Boston.
I saw Jay Giles at Rider College back in 1981, 82, 82 at the Freeze Frame Tour.
Right on the big
same
cusp
one.
of their huge fame.
Right? Then your second one was
Joan Jett.
Joan Jett. Now, a buddy of mine plays bass for her now.
All right.
Then the third one was
Police.
One of the worst interviews I ever had in my life was with Andy Summers of the Police. That's a story for off the air. I have a voicemail on this very phone from Andy Summers, and when I called him back, he swore he didn't call me. Funny story, but I do digress. And then Rush is one of my favorite bands of all time, and I now work with the head sound engineer's cousin of Rush. So see,
beautiful, yeah.
Chris and I are like connected.
There
The
you
whole
go. We have
bass
that
and
thing.
drums thing going on here.
So there's also a Hamilton, New Jersey connection to Juliana Hatfield, who's another Massachusetts resident.
Okay.
So she gets her stuff mastered in Hamilton, and I'm so sorry that I'm forgetting the name of the gentleman right now, but I'll
on Nottingham Way.
I'll get it back. Yeah, he does all the stuff comes to him, and he masters Juliana's records.
There's a mastering engineer from Sony that lives in Hamilton.
It might be the same.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
Look
come
up.
up with it.
Because
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
him. He's been a guest in this program.
Yeah.
All right, David, you're next,
Yes, sir.
and then we're gonna get.
Chris and I,
Some
it's sort of
music.
cool. We actually met in a playground because our kids were playing together in a playground. That's how we happened to meet.
See that? You never know what happens on playgrounds.
I
Getting
don't
all
know.
sorts of trouble.
I have no idea what happens with playgrounds.
That's probably good.
He's
That's
not a
good.
dad.
No.
He's not a dad. All right.
What can I tell you?
Well, obviously he just did.
Yes, that's a good start. I've never been in a playground.
Yes, my fellow drummer.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
we are.
Heavy duty on the electronic stuff. Huh?
For the last few years, yeah, it seems that these e-drums fit better into the kind of gigs that I've been doing locally.
Okay.
It's easy to control the level, and even at low levels, you can get fully produced drum sounds, which is hard to do otherwise. So it's been a good choice, I think.
I never liked the sound of electronic drums until I met David, and he just does such a masterful job with them. He makes electronic drums sound more like what real drums should sound like than anyone else I know makes real drums sound.
They're really easy to carry.
Wow.
Yeah, right. See, now I'm not a big electronic drum guy. And then I recorded. Somebody asked me to lay down some tracks, and I get to the studio, and this guy's got a set of the Roland top of the line, like $5,000 for this drum kit.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, these things sound like drums.
Drums.
Who knew? But the only thing I could never get used to was the cymbals. Sometimes you need a bell, and it's not always there with those things.
More so now. Now
they're much better.
The latest generation of e-drums usually has multi-zone cymbal triggers, so that you can get both an edge and a shoulder and a bell sound all from the same trigger.
Oh, very cool.
And even here, I can trigger a bell sound by hitting harder, just from velocity. So it's really quite flexible.
I never, and I'll give you credit because I could never get used to the foot pedals. Bass pedal I did okay with, but the hi-hat to get a choke, and I was just like, oh man, it's
Yeah.
I'm old school, I guess, but that's all right. So when did you start playing the drums?
It was about 12 or 13.
Okay. What kind of local guy or?
No, well, I grew up in Manhattan,
Okay.
but then around junior high school, moved to Brockton, Massachusetts. When you mentioned Brockton before, I nearly fell off this little chair. Yeah. So I grew up both in New York
Brockton.
Who needs them DNA tests? We just reunited
I
a
don't know.
family.
I'm gonna know my band a lot better after this show than I knew them beforehand. We just
See?
play music. I never interview them about their whole life stories.
That's why I'm here. That's why you brought that to me. Okay. So how'd you wind up back down here?
Well, I had been working outside of this area for a long time, but I always knew that I wanted to get back to the East Coast, and finally I had a chance to do that in the late '80s. So I actually ended up in New Jersey, but on the shore, and was there for, I don't know, 10 or more years before
Where
I
at?
came to Princeton.
Whereabouts?
Navesink, which is
Okay.
just across the Navesink River from Robson and Fairhaven.
I had to go to the Highlands the other night, last week, and
yeah.
My GPS routed me down through Rumson and into Navesink and all through that way. I forgot how many huge houses with the fences. Oh my gosh! I'm thinking,
Yes.
These people have got to have gobs of money that live in these homes.
Well, if your name is John Bon Jovi, then you
Yeah.
have gobs of money. And,
Yeah, him and Bruce left that for Cold Snack now. They're out in Cold Snack somewhere.
Well, I didn't know John left the river. Really?
That's because they have farms and they get tax breaks.
Yeah, yeah, they grow like 3 tomatoes, then they rail against the government.
All you need is one goat.
Right?
That
He's got a bunch
qualifies
of
you for an
horses.
agricultural
See?
discount. Yeah.
There you go.
His
Yeah.
daughter rides.
Aha.
Springsteen's daughter competes. She's one of the top competitors in horse equestrian.
Because you know that because
My husband does the stuff with
No,
him.
you-
I
that's
don't
what
know.
I'm
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
what are you laughing at?
Actually, we did her at Randy's school. We did her graduation from high school, but she
There
was
you
not
go.
there because she was competing in a competition.
Because I know Claire and I know she doesn't have any horses.
I grew up in Marlboro and Cold Snack, though. I went to school with all those peeps.
Ah, see?
I
There
did.
you go.
Yes.
See how that's all connected? Who's your favorite drummer?
Oh, that's tough. I don't think I could name one. Although Dave Garibaldi from Tower of Power was certainly among them. But that would be tough, I think.
When I was 12, my cousin gave me Led Zeppelin. I had been playing for 6 months. She gave me Led Zeppelin 4 for my 12th birthday, and I said, I gotta play like that guy.
Got to do that.
And then as I became a Bonham worshiper, and then I had Neil Peart, and I had a guy that I was always fascinated with, though, was Steve Gadd.
Oh yeah.
And Billy. My God,
Cobham?
Billy Cobham.
Yeah.
Them guys are great.
Yeah.
They were the kind of drummers like, oh, man, am I ever going to be able to do that?
Yeah, I still say that.
Right?
Am I ever going to be able to do
that? What's funny is John Bonham, for me, I found myself, because I used to just jam with, Zeppelin so much, I find myself, ironically enough, is one of the reasons why I think I've actually lost a couple of gigs over the years, because I tended to start playing in polyrhythms just like him, and the notes would always be there. I'm not the kind of guy that overfills. I just kind of keep, the Kiss method. And
Me too.
but when you got the feet going and the hot and 2 different speeds and then this that and it just, it used to work for them. I guess eventually, I actually had a couple people tell me, you seem busy. You're busy. I said, with what? I don't know. There's something sounds busy. Well, I'm thinking it's not my hands, so it must be my feet. But yeah, but I wouldn't change it. I actually, Art, guess what?
What?
Thank you for that comeback.
Knock, knock.
What?
Who's there?
Thursday, it's going to kind of come full circle for me, because Thursday I get to interview Jason Bonham.
Wow.
Yeah.
He'll be here, or you'll talk to him on the phone?
I wish. I'll be talking to him on the phone.
Yeah.
And how weird is it that Jason's older than his dad ever was?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's true. He's outlived his father.
Wow.
So, but
Not a kid anymore.
no, not at all. All right, who's left? Steve. Steve's just been sitting over there, kind of like
chilling.
sucking it all in.
I'm still here.
And do I have to put out an APB for Olive? Did she disappear?
she's coughing.
Oh, she's out in the hallway. Okay, there. I see the arm come out. Steve, Mr. Saxophone.
Danny,
How are you, sir?
great, just great.
All right. So, how'd you get involved with the Beagles?
There was no
Well.
Beagles without Steve.
That's right.
Since you were blamed for forcing Rob to create the band.
We met up about 5 years ago through a friend, a mutual friend, and hit it off. And then my son, Jacob, was having a whoop stock, and his young friends were all into music. They didn't want to hear a bunch of old, moldy oldies. So I said to Rob, you got some original songs, right? Why don't we work some of those up for this whoop stock party that my son was having? And we did. And here we are talking to you.
And there you have it.
So it was originally a guitar and sax duo with the two of us singing.
Okay.
Steve would play some tambourine when he doesn't play the sax to keep the beat going.
Took my
I'm not going to give you
Took
the
my
run for your
job,
money.
yeah.
Don't worry. Maybe on one song. That's about it.
Now it's that is a alto, right?
It's an alto
Okay.
sax.
Do you play tenor and baritone?
I
as
would
well?
love to. I want to get a baritone because the fingering's the same as the alto, so it's not a heavy lift, and I want to get that different sound. So that's in the planning stage.
Okay. What did you use on the recording?
This alto.
Okay. All right. Who'd you like growing up listening?
I didn't start listening to sax music that I was aware of until I was late into my teens. I got into jazz, and I'll never play jazz because that takes skills that I'll never put the time into it to have. But Jackie McLean's one of my favorite sax players on alto, Dexter Gordon on tenor, Stanley Turrentine. So I have, as far as my musical influences, it was my sister's 45 collection that turned me onto music, and the old Philly radio stations.
Oh yeah.
WIBG or
Wibbage.
Wibbage.
That's
There you
that-
go.
That's in Trenton. Yeah.
FIL, definitely.
WFIL. Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever pop music was my first love and still love, although certainly.
You have very good. You have very nice timbre, my friend. Very
Thank
good
you.
sound.
What is that?
There you go. I'm testing
okay.
his musical knowledge.
When people yell when the chocolate tree down.
Yeah.
Timbre.
No, you did. That's very cool.
Steve's a very great singer too.
He is.
That's beautiful, man. That brought a tear to my eye. How about you, David?
I'm crying still.
You could grab a leaf off those plants if you got it, because it's artificial. You can, yeah. Or use the drapes, actually.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Well, you wanted to do a song with Olive.
I did.
And what is it?
It's Singing in the Shower. This is a song that we did twice on the CD. Once is Singing in the Shower, which is
Steve's getting choked.
Steve just choked himself because his headphone cords are stuck in the couch cushion. See, the couch sucks you in there, Steve.
So we recorded this twice on the CD. Once is a duet between Vanessa and myself, and then once in a different key is a version that just Vanessa sang the whole thing. That I played it on ukulele in that version. That we redid it with Peter. And Olive's only done it with us a few times, so she's really brave that she suggested coming out and do it today. But Olive's
you
a fabulous
twisted my
singer.
arm is what happened.
What?
But
Twisted
okay.
your arm?
I'm here. I'm here.
I didn't
Let's
think you
go.
were coming until about an hour ago.
If you're
So,
just tuning in, this is Rock On Radio. I am Danny Coleman, and our guests this evening are the Beagles. If you want to give us a call, you can do so at 609-241-7103, and we'll give you a copy of their album, Bed of Roses, along with some other stuff.
This is definitely the jazziest tune in our repertoire.
Ooh.
I do occasionally get Steve to play jazz. He says he never does it, but I make people do all sorts of things they never think they do.
Apparently so.
That's my specialty.
It's kind of like me.
Yeah, I guess
What did
so.
I say, Claire? What's my favorite pickup line? Does this smell like ether?
What did you say it is? Has anybody ever responded?
No, they all faint in my presence.
Ah.
They all go to sleep.
Somehow I understand that.
All right, go ahead. What do you have?
We're going to go play the song, Singing in the Shower.
Fine.
Okay, is that okay? That we're gonna do,
Yeah,
right?
that's fine. Go for it.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, every morning I wake up for the dawn. I hear you singing in the shower and I hum along. It's a lonesome melody like the dewdrops play. I want to take you there, my darling, to make you feel that way.
Ooh, take a walk in the park. Sky turns gray. All those cats blowing sacks to scamper away. I feel like a child on a sunny day. I wanna take you there, my darling, to make you feel that way. Ooh,
With all the lovely melodies that the birdies sing, they don't compare to the woman that wears my ring. I don't give a damn what the ravens say, 'cause I know I'm gonna love you more and more each day.
we hear the laughing of the children on the messy side. We hear the slapping of the fishes and the flapping of the flies. When a bee starts to buzz inside my head, you make me swoon, my sweet pea, till your face turns red. Ooh,
We start tapping our feet to the rhythm of the rain, waltzing with the walrus on the window pane. And then I run after a rabbit with the flower in her hair, and I turn around to find that you're not there.
I've got this funny little feeling I'm gonna find out for myself. Mm. Imagining only you, I feel the surf and start falling. The ocean calling. Ooh, I start falling. Ocean calling.
When I start singing out the song that you lodged inside my brain, I hear some humming, harmonizing come through the pouring rain. Then the hummingbirds, they flap their wings to gather around. We lock our lips like petals and make a joyful sound.
Ooh, so we go back to the bar now. The day is done. We wring our sopping clothes and set them in the setting sun to close the photo album on a lovely day. I hear you singing in the shower, and I drift away. Oh,
to all the lovely melodies that the birdies sing, that don't compare to the woman that wears my ring. And I don't give a damn what the ravens say, 'cause I know I'm gonna love more and more each
every day. Oh,
every day.
Every day.
The Beagles right here on Rock On Radio.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well done. Well done.
That song's never the same twice.
That's good.
For real. Real jazz, right?
Well, while we've got the music going. Why don't you want to do another one?
Sure, let's do Bed of Roses. This I do as a duet with Eunice. This is the title track from the CD.
Okay. We're doing this live, yes?
We're going to do this one live
Okay.
too. This is another one that never comes out remotely the same twice. So, but this one's country, not jazz. But it's country jazz, I guess. But,
And the miracle is Rob got me to sing a country song.
Rob.
Well, I was gonna write you a letter,
and I was gonna write you a song.
but stamps are getting kind of expensive.
And now my feeling isn't as strong as it was
at the dawn.
I heard that you took a vacation. I heard that it lasted a year. I heard that you had an engagement. He told me that you left out of fear, never shedding a tear.
Yesterday morning, I opened the beer.
That was left in my refrigerator from the last night you spent here. Staying out of bed,
running around,
asking all kinds of questions, never
put me down. Well, I swore 'cause you made me feel lonely, and I cried 'cause you made me feel scared. I thought that I wanted you, only I didn't want you, but I needed you there, acting like you cared.
thought about sending dead flowers.
I thought about stocking a zoo. I took a tour of all held hostage in my heart.
One of the cages looked like you, a thorny sucker too. to follow me around. When I rushed into the bedroom, I turned and looked around. Somebody laughing at my tranquility. Well, I thought about mailing a postcard, and I contemplated writing a dirge. When I heard the telephone ring from my dreams, you answered in a voice with a lot of words. Exactly what I heard. Well, you asked me to take a vacation. You said we would have a good time. I told you that I had to be patient. I didn't want to press those grapes to taste your wine. If you could never be mine. But it was kind of black. Seems that you had lifted the lid. I guess that saving that beer was just another dumb thing I did.
The Beagles, woohoo! Right here on Rock On Radio. Nice. That song was called
Bed of Roses, that's the title track.
There
Bed of
you
Roses,
go.
title track from our CD.
Bed of Roses. And now, where can we find this CD?
Well, it is at I don't remember the link off the top of my head, but you can, the BeaglesBand.com site has a link to it on there. It's at a CD Baby site. It's also, they have copies at the Princeton Record Exchange. You can pick it up there if you're local to Princeton. Interesting thing, you know, that song never mentions the word Bed of Roses in it. It has a line about flowers, has a line about a cage with thorns on it. If you look at the inside picture on the CD, you've got that cage with the bar of thorns in the background of roses there. Another interesting thing about the, the tie-in with the CD, it's called Bed of Roses. Vanessa, of course, is built on the CD as Vanessa Rose. And I had people might think that song was written something to do with the Vanessa Rose name, but I had written that song, I'd recorded that song, I titled the CD after that song, I had designed the CD with all the roses on it, and I was going to copyright the song I wrote with Vanessa, and I asked her what her middle name is so that I could put it on the copyright, and she told me Rose. I was like, well, we just got to call you Vanessa Rose then, because that's the whole Rose theme of the CD.
And there you have it. See how that falls in place?
Yep.
Right, Sparky?
Yeah. You're so funny.
Sorry. All
No,
right.
you're not.
I'll let it.
You're not sorry. One bit.
Once again, I want to give a shout out to the Heightstown Volunteer Fire Company
Please don't find us.
for allowing us to be on the air here.
Yeah, being the only female with all of you walking around going, "Oh no, she did. She did it."
Oh no,
It's all her fault.
I did not have to
I-
even point a finger.
True.
You
I
owned up
raised
to
my
it.
hand.
You were like the confessor.
I did.
I pulled the fire alarm.
It was me. I swear you cuffed me. Sorry. Take me away.
If you're just tuning in, this is Rock on Radio 609-241-7103. If you would like a copy of Bed of Roses, Jody Weber apparently likes the chili, and she
Yeah.
says
Oh,
it's
great.
great. It's a great show tonight.
Woohoo.
So, Jody,
So it is five
Comment.
alarm chili
Yep.
on a 5 alarm show.
He's practicing for the Christmas special.
I
that's
see.
right.
Warm up.
Right. We have to
Warming
bring that out. Actually,
Yeah.
the
I can't even believe we're saying the
Christmas.
Christmas
8
special.
weeks. 8 weeks to Christmas.
normally
You can stop now. You can
Yeah, right?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I have to go Christmas shopping.
We got a few things coming up actually. Normally I have the Christmas Spectacular is the Sunday before Christmas, but this year that's the 23rd. So since none of us probably really want to be here on the 23rd,
Not
since
really.
everybody's the next day is the 24th.
You can convince me.
Well,
Why, with chocolate?
No.
No, just get out of the house.
the Rock 10th annual actually it's the 10th annual Christmas Spectacular. It's 3 hours from 7 to 10 p.m. on December the 16th this year.
Wow.
We will be back
Mm-hmm.
in studio on December 30th, however. We don't need 2 days for New Year's Eve, do we?
Nope.
No, good.
Nope.
So December 16th is the 10th. Can you believe 10 years I've been doing this already? 10th
Wow.
annual Christmas Spectacular. And our 10th anniversary is in April.
We'll have to do something
10
special.
years, yeah. We
COA's
will.
10th anniversary is March.
Bingo.
Nice.
See? That's right, because I've been pretty much in it since the ground floor.
We're having our gala March 1st, I think, at Mercer Oaks.
We should probably be there.
Nice. We should.
We should go.
We'll go.
I think we should go.
Sounds good.
All right. Put me down.
March
for,
1st.
Put me down for 6 tables of 10.
6 tables of 10.
But that's December 16th, 7 to 10 p.m. right here on COARadio.com and SocietyBitesRadio.com, which is also where we're coming to you live tonight on SocietyBitesRadio.com. It'll be a 3-hour show. It'll be a 3-hour open house, actually. We have chili, we have chicken wings, we have food that'll be catered by, hopefully, by O'Connor's of Mount Holly.
It was really
Nice.
good last year.
They're great.
They got great food.
I'll bake stuff.
Hopefully, we
Your job is chocolate.
I do
You-
chocolate.
you bring the chocolate. I'll be
Mhm.
here with the
Eggnog.
Appetite.
yes.
That lets you hard.
I make homemade eggnog and chili for the event. I make real eggnog.
I was so psyched when I saw that chili. I thought we might get some over here.
No, I had to give that to Jody, but I'm making another batch tomorrow. So
So we'll come back and do the show again tomorrow.
there you go.
then.
Why not?
Yeah.
Meet me here. So yeah, I make crock-on chili and I make homemade eggnog, and we have food and we have musicians coming in left and right. So if any of you out there listening are a musician or know any musicians, if you would like to submit either an original Christmas tune, I've already gotten one. believe it or
Nice. Good.
not, called "Spank Me Santa."
Oh, wow.
Complete with a real smack on the rear end at the end of the song. So tune in to hear that.
So much for the clean show.
Yeah, right.
How do we know it was?
Kim Yarson sent me that. She's crazy anyway.
I have a sideline writing Hanukkah lyrics to Beatles tunes.
There you go.
There you
See,
8 days a year.
if you perfect. if you have a spoof or an original tune or your own take on the classics. Actually, it's you want to know the truth, Rob? What they call the Christmas Spectacular, or the subtitle is Jewmas. True story, because usually at one point we have more musicians who are of the Jewish faith than we actually have Christians or Catholics. So Sophia named
Right.
it. She goes, "Oh, it's like Jumas," and she's Jewish.
The first 5-person lineup of the Beagles, we discovered one day. I had no idea that like anyone in the room other than me was Jewish, and one day we just discovered that all 5 of us were Jewish. Like I'm Jewish too. Like
There you
it's
go.
no longer the case, but
Also,
Well, how do you know? Mazel tov. Okay.
That's right.
so yeah, any holiday tune or Christmas classic or Christmas or holiday original that you have.
Mhm.
And there you see. Okay. Can't we make that happen? Can't you take a class or something to convert? Ain't that how that's done? A religious advisor, advise me.
Well, he's male.
Okay.
Isn't there something has to go? Well, and he has to just profess whatever he has to go through his training, just like any other religion.
Training.
Yeah, you have to learn about your religion before you can say yes, no.
I don't know. You're the religious advisor. I'm asking
I'm
you.
not Jewish. Although with a name like Gelman, you think I would be.
Well, I have a religious advisor on a show that doesn't discuss religion.
Yes, you brought it up. So what did you put me on the spot to try to talk about a religion that I'm not?
I'm a trendsetter here.
You're beating me up.
So that's what's going on there. So, all right. So, again, websites and all that stuff, how do we find it?
BeaglesBand.com is our main site. And on Facebook, we're at facebook.com/Rob Freeman the Beagles. We're also on Reverb Nation. We're Beagles 2 on Reverb Nation. So there's somewhere else of Beagles out there, but BeaglesBand.com is the main site. There was a cartoon show that had a band called the Beagles in the 60s too, but they seem to be defunct, so they haven't.
I thought that was
come after
Josie and the
us yet.
Pussycats.
But there was that
might
too.
have been that might have been the Banana Splits.
At one
Yeah,
point, we
right?
thought about changing our name to
Hanna
Cats
Barbera.
and Dogs. We tried changing our name to about 1,000 different things, but we couldn't come up with anything better because really there's nothing better.
So, is there a plan for a sequel to this or a bequel to this?
Oh, I knew you.
Well, we're
still.
A bequel. Well, I would love, as I say, I've got an awful lot more songs. And Chris was actually just coming to me enthused about the idea of working on another recording project together. So hopefully we'll get the ball rolling on that. But as of now, we're still excited that this is a brand new product.
You said enthused?
Enthused.
Okay, I thought you said infused. I was going to get happy for him.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Maybe we could play something else off this. We only
You
got to
can
play
do
one track
whatever
off
you
it.
want. We've got about 15 minutes left, so
Pick a song.
apparently,
What do folks think we should play off this
apparently
CD?
the clock's an hour slow.
Pick a song, not Freebird.
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh, that's not what I gave him on the.
Yeah, we have like 15 minutes, so we can actually play one now, and then we can go out on one as well.
Okay, well, why don't we play Oil Painting now? The version I gave you of Oil Painting on the MP3, that's the version that Eunice did with us too on the CD. Eunice and Vanessa are both on this. You hear all of us singing all these ad-libs at the end, which is a really fun process we did together.
Okay, well, while Art's queuing that up, Eunice, do you have anything you want to say about that?
No, it was really fun. I got to record a song I never had before. So it was fun. I was in the studio.
Oh, it's the first time you ever went in the studio?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it was fun. We actually got my part in one take.
Yay.
One take Eunice.
So that was pretty fun. And I got to work with Rob and Amon, and it was great. It was a whole new ball game, but it was a thrill to do it. So.
And today, now is he digital or analog?
It was all digital recording.
Yeah, see.
And then he could fix all my mistakes. It was fabulous.
Peter did go through an analog board, so we're somewhat analog on the stock tracks we did at Peter's studio, though it was still recorded to computer, but went through an analog board, so we got the nice sound of that, whereas Lon was an entirely computerized recording process.
The beauty of analog, or the actual frustration of analog, used to be like with analog. And first time I ever went to the studio, I was 15 and I 24 track tape. It was on one of the only studios in the area that had 24 tracks. Everybody else was 16, 12, 24 tracks.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, God.
Really long
Yes.
time ago.
I
Gosh,
know.
the Victrola, didn't they like crank it?
Yes, I still have it.
Oh, man.
And the process was so different. If a song was 350 long and you made a mistake at 340, you were recutting the whole tune, man. There was no drop and point and click, and I can fix that.
The first way I recorded some of these songs when I was a teenager, I had two-track recorders. I'd lay down some of the tracks on one, then we'd overdub by recording on the other two-track recorder while we played along with it, back and forth, and it sounds a lot better the way we did it now, so I don't miss doing that.
No, I'd say. So what are we doing here? What are we playing?
Oil painting, the oil painting reprise, the last song on the CD.
All right, there you go. You ready, Art? Last one? That's the one you sent us, right?
Yeah.
So we have no choice. Well, we could bust open the CD.
We could.
We could do a lot of things. But right now, we're going to listen to Oil Painting by the Beagles here on Rock on Radio.
I saw you today like an oil painting, looking soft and sensitive, something on your mind. Sitting underneath a quote about justice, or quietly musing at the passage of time. I see you listen to the tongues that babble like brooks, smile at their hopefulness like down back hooks. Whistle at the wilderness lost in shadow. There's still some chimes out of gilded madrigals. Lost in the shadows. Can I see you tomorrow? Oh, don't make me wait. When I lifted my eyes to be kissed by your tears, I passed through the moments to dance with birds. Imagining laughs and I'm going to feel. Let the magic tears of rain to someone. Then you cast off your skin and you dared me to see all the things I swore I was going to be. When I long for the dreams that were floating away, you pushed me under and held me that way. Woke up in a room with a spiral staircase, frames on the wall with nothing inside. Each step I took was a little bit quieter. Each breath is like an icicle when I see you again, won't have to say a word about what happened then. About the way your joy dissolved in my sorrow. Can I see you tomorrow? Don't make me wait. Whistle at the wilderness lost in the shadow. It's so much I got you in madrigal. Can I catch you tomorrow? Such a time away from you.
Oil Painting by the Beagles, who are right here live in studio with us on Rock on Radio. So now you're the principal songwriter for most of these, right, Rob? Okay, that's good. And you collaborated a little bit with Vanessa.
That's the only song I've ever co-written, as a matter of fact.
Really?
Yep.
What kind of chocolate you eat?
I mean the white chocolate.
I see. Oh, okay.
We have a nice variety.
How's
We
that
seem
chili?
to-
How's that chili chocolate back there? You don't taste the hot chili? Yeah. That's right. The lint, you can taste the. You can taste the hot.
One pepper.
Lint chocolate.
One pepper.
One pepper.
One
Chili.
pepper.
Chili chocolate.
One alarm.
And what are you bunching on there, Eunice?
I put chocolate in my mouth. The milk chocolate with almonds.
Ah,
Mm.
see? Olive? Oh, what do you have?
Well.
You got the sea salt there?
A little of this, a little of that.
Mhm.
No, I don't know any other radio shows that give out chocolate on
A
there.
variety.
And then we're all like this. All right, so what's next for you guys? What do you have coming up? What kind of projects?
Well, let me see. I think we were doing a TV appearance on the Talking Jazz with Eric Mintel coming up in November. So that's
Very
going to be
cool.
exciting on Princeton 30.
Local guy.
And we're going to we're playing at a Music for More benefit at the Elks Club in Skillman, the Princeton Elks Club in Skillman.
Okay.
And we got this tribute to the $1 Million Quartet we're going to be doing in January at Scotch Plains Library. So that's a few things we got going on.
Scott's Plains. The home of Pat Denizio, former
Yeah.
lead singer of the
Smithereens, yeah.
Our good
And
buddy.
I'm just so blessed, that so many wonderful musicians and singers collaborate with me on this music, both the smaller group, though it's not so small within the Beagles, and the larger group within the Einstein Alley Musicians Collaborative. It's just wonderful to be part of a community with so many people that are willing to devote their time and talents to my art and to making this joyful music together.
What was your favorite part about making this? Besides the finished product.
I mean, really hearing, it's been a lifetime goal of mine to get my music in the finest state possible. And just, really the finished product is the thing, hearing the way it's sounding closer to the way it sounded in my head my whole life, but even better than it sounded in my head because of all of the great contributions that everybody made to it. One of the most unique parts of it was really the package design of it, actually, because while I'd done musical work my whole life, I'd really never tried to create a visual artwork. And so creating the whole package was a wonderful thing. It really had a vision in my mind in January that I described to people of how I wanted the package to look like and what I wanted to be called and everything. And then getting all the pieces in place, everyone dressed the right way, photographed the right way, photoshopped together against the background, creating this physical object that had been, well, we weren't actually standing against a whole wall of roses.
I'm shocked.
Wow, really?
And the thorn image in the center. So that whole thing, and just everyone working together with me on the project, the whole collaborative process with the musicians, with the singers, with Peter Gregory, who engineered a whole bunch of it. I learned so much from Lon Van Eaton, who was a wonderful producer to work with too. And it's just been I can't believe that a year ago I had this idea in my head, and that here I am today with this product and with all these people helping me to work on taking it further from here.
And there you have it. What do you think of that, Olive?
I think it's absolutely a fabulous product. It really is. Very well put together. I really enjoy the way Rob puts his music together. It's unique in the lyrics. The way he puts the words just flow so beautifully, even without the music. The words just really, really flow, and they touch me. They really do. So I really appreciate everything that's on there.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
See?
That one tune we just played, Actual Oil Paint, that's the one tune I wrote really more as a poem than to music. So I'm a lawyer. I was sitting in a law school classroom when that came to me. You may hear the line there, sitting underneath a quote about justice. I was looking at a woman sitting underneath a quote about justice on the wall of the law school classroom. And any other song I've written, I start, as soon as I have a line, I sing it, But that one, I'm sitting in a class for 2 hours. So just the whole thing was written as a lyric on paper before I even sung a word of it. So that was the one that really was just really written as a poem and then set to music.
Sitting in law school in a classroom
Writing poetry.
for 2 hours writing poetry.
So is he a good lyricist or is he a good lawyer?
Well, who else uses the word madrigal in your songs? Madrigal? Really? But it's so beautiful. It just works. It works.
Can you spell it?
Madrigal.
There you go.
I got a lot of degrees. I went in a lot of classes. There's no class.
I object.
No class I ever took that I got as much out of as that class that I got that song out of.
There you go. See? That's beautiful.
That's why he's a
absolutely
lawyer.
Beautiful. Well, we've got about 4 minutes left. If you want a copy of this disc, call now. 609-241-7103. We'll give you the disc. We'll give you a Rock on Radio pen here. You just have a pen. For
This
Eunice.
one-
Olive. Here, Eunice. Have a pen.
Eunice.
We got some for
The girls
boys
are on
back
this
there. Sorry, I was looking at her or throwing at her and
Are we going to go off something? On this?
yeah. What did
Yeah.
you want to go off out?
We were going to play Look Around. This was the one I always thought from the first days of me and Steve as a duo. It was the one that was going to be our hit. I always think of it as sort of like the Violent Femmes meet the Monkeys.
Steve, you could have been something. You hear that?
It's never too late.
That's right. You were. Oh, look at me now. I'm pulling my own headphones off. You are 1,000% correct. It's never too late. Too many people give up. What is wrong with these headphones? There we go.
They're on your head.
It's the operator.
My head must be crooked.
Maybe it's
Some
your
air
head.
between the chair and the keyboard.
That's correct. Loosen up behind the control panel. All right. So any gigs? Are you going to gig out with this unit other than the 40 people that are in the Motown tribute?
We gig every chance we get. I told you a bunch of stuff we're doing, and we did the CD release gig a few weeks ago. We're
Right.
looking for the next thing we're going to do coming up, but we're keeping real busy with lots of stuff. We do more gigs in the summer, honestly, than any other things. We get a lot of outdoor gigs and stuff like that. Just did something at the Scarecrows in the Village Festival a couple weeks ago.
How'd that go?
That was really great. They're so much better this year than last year. They got a new person running that Lawrenceville Main Street group, putting that on, and she's really doing a quality operation. That was a great thing. We're going to be doing the Whedon Park Summer Music in the Park series for them
okay.
next summer. So
That's nice.
looking forward to that. We're going to do another thing for Main Street, a benefit in the March or so that they're going to be running there. So looking forward to that.
I'll be here before we know it too. Next spring.
And this Music for More thing, we're doing a few songs at that benefit coming up on November 17th at the Princeton Elks in Skillman.
Fabulous. Fabulous. I'm telling you. See, even engineer art agrees. It's engineer art approved.
Wow.
Fabulous. How long is this? 3:30. No, where is it? Look around. Ooh, 3:21. Okay.
Mhm.
So if we close now, we can get almost the entire thing in.
All right.
That would be a beautiful thing.
Yes, it would.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us on,
For
Danny.
making the trip. Thanks, guys, for lugging everything upstairs. And best of luck, I guess, with the disc. The Beagles, Bed of Roses. And I see on the back is the website, beaglesband.com, facebook.com/Rob Freeman, the Beagles. Oh. They don't bounce though. So great. Again, thank you guys.
Thank you so much, Danny.
Michael, Chris, David, Stephen, Eunice, Olive. I got it right that time.
You did.
Rob, good luck with you guys. Do you guys do anything individually or like other bands or freelance? Okay.
There's a
Nice.
short list of bands David doesn't play with in this area.
That's cool. That's good. Right. All right. Well, next week we got a heck of a show next
Cool.
week. We're back to I forgot to mention the Making Waves benefit for hunger and the homeless, November 16th and 17th at Langosta Lounge and the Asbury Park Yacht Club.
Mm-hmm.
They will both be on those 2 nights, and that's a great thing. It's free to get in, but you got to bring I think you got to bring a canned good or
Right.
something. We are a sponsor of that.
Mm-hmm.
And next week we have 2 performers that are going to be on that bill. We have a young lady who is just incredibly talented named Evangelia, and then we have Drew the Recluse. Both of them will be in here next week.
Nice.
So tune in next Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on COARadio.com and SocietyBitesRadio.com. And we're going to go out on this song from the Beagles' Bed of Roses CD, which is called
Look Around.
Till next week.
Rock on.
I look around, but I can't discover a reason to look away. I look around, but I can't recover the peace of mind. Wait another day. Well, ever since the first time I saw you, I've been longing to put you in my life. Ever since you first got my gazing, has been slicing my dreams just like a knife. I look around, but I can't discover the reason. Look away, I look around, but I can't recover the peace of mind to wait another day. Ever since the first time I touched you, I've been wanting to touch you every night. You quake like a quivering volcano, and touching myself don't feel that right. I look around, but I can't discover a reason. Look away, I look around, but I can't discover the peace of mind to wait another day. My daddy said she never loved you. My mama said she was driving red. My sister said there's so many nice girls. Why you always seem to want to treat you bad? I look around, but I can't discover a reason to wait. I look around, but I can't discover the peace of mind to wait another Ever since the first time I slept with you, I've been lying sleepless every night. Oh, where might have gone to, wondering if I'll ever be so right again. I look around, but I can't discover the reason. Look away, I look around, but I can't discover the peace of mind to send you away. Yeah, my daddy said.